Hi, this is Vivi from vividlyASMR, and welcome to my first ever Q&A video celebrating 10K subscribers. So, if you are listening to this, I'm assuming that you probably asked one of the questions, or you're here to get to know me, because everything I've done on this channel so far has been a roleplay, and I realized somewhat recently that I don't offer a lot of myself as a person on the channel, and it would be nice to let you guys get to know me a little bit. The people on the Discord have a different experience. I'm a lot more forthcoming over there. But some of you are YouTube only, and I'd like you to have the experience as well. So, first of all, this is going to be a long video. Probably a very long video. I have 39 pages of questions on a Google Doc. I don't know if we're going to get through all of them, but you know what? Let's give it a go. I'm settled in, comfy at my desk. I have a poncho keeping my legs warm. I have a bottle of water and a can of Monster Boomer juice. I'm ready to go. I would like to apologize for the background noise. I'm recording at the desk, which means that the tower is making a little bit of noise, and I can't fully get rid of that unless I move to the floor. But if I move to the floor, I can't maintain that position for a very long time. Typically, that's how I record the role plays. I hunch over away from the computer with a poncho over my head. But I don't think I can pull that off for an hour-long video. So we're going to have some clicky kind of noises. I'm gonna try and say things as softly and relaxingly as I can, so that this can still sort of work as a sleep aid. And I have already waffled on long enough. It is 3 minutes and we haven't even answered a question yet, so let's get going on that. So I've organized the questions together as best I can, so maybe they flow a little bit better, but I haven't scripted my answers, so this is entirely improvised. Okay, so our first question comes from Juan Muhammad Arif Daniel, and it's the same question asked by Suki, which is, how old are you? Now, I don't know if this will surprise you or not, but I am 26. In my first couple of audios, I really hammed it up with what I like to call the ooh voice, which is when my voice kind of goes up here and I try and make it sound as sweet as I can. And that fooled some people, apparently, which was not really my intention. But yeah, I'm currently 26, but I will be turning 27 at the end of October 2019 if you are listening to this in the future. So yeah. Number 2, which was also asked by Uwu Furry, trademarked, which is, where are you from? I am from Australia, which apparently is also surprising because I apparently do not sound very Australian according to other Australians. Throughout my life, I've actually been told that I sound American, but when I talk to Americans, they go, no, you're crazy. You don't sound American at all. I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, I'm from Australia. I live on the eastern side. I'm not going to tell you much more than that, but I used to live about 20 minutes from the ocean, and now I do not. I now live very far away from the ocean, which makes it a little bit easier to record because it's fairly quiet out here, which I like a lot. Yeah. So, our next question is from Rolix, which is, where did your name come from? So, most of you know me as Vivid or Vividly if you're being formal. And the reason for my name is because my username for a lot of things was originally Vividly Visceral. That's still my Instagram handle and what I use for Xbox and all sorts of junk. And the story behind that, I'll try and simplify it, even though I like the story. Basically, I fell in love with the word visceral. And that sounds a little bit weird to say, but it was kind of a weird experience. I was just sitting in English class listening to the teacher explaining poetry by Gwen Harwood. We were studying a poem called Barn Owl. And if you don't know what that poem is, it's a poem about, the protagonist of the poem who steals their father's gun and goes and kills an owl out in the barn. And the owl doesn't die right away, and it's very traumatic. And it was written in this way that was kind of gory, but gory isn't the right word, so the teacher described it as visceral imagery. And as soon as I heard that word, I don't know, it was like electricity went through me, and I was like, ooh, that is a nice word. I like that word a lot. That is now my favorite word. So at some point afterwards, I went home and was like, you know what, this is my username. And it was a step up from my old username. My old username was Daily Chocolate Milk. So I don't think that would have worked as an ASMR name, because then my name would have been like Daily ASMR, and you guys know my upload schedule. I can't pull that off. Alrighty. Oh, and the reason why I picked Vividly is because I like alliteration. That's pretty much the entire reason. Vividly, visceral. Okay, so the next question was asked by Spooter, Solid Snake, and Martino Mauli, which was favorite color. And my favorite color is orange, followed by pink and purple. Fun fact, I used to hate pink for a long time, for a very dumb, cringy reason. I wanted to be different. But I've since gotten over that because pink is a very nice color. The only color that I'm not super keen on is probably green and yellow, which is funny because those are like the most popular colors at Australian sports teams. Okay. And then we have, how are you doing today? Also from Spooter. I'm doing pretty well today, Spooter. It is 2:20 a.m., but I had a big nap today, so, you know, I'm energetic, and I've got my can of Monster here if I get tired, so feeling pretty good. Thanks for asking. How are you doing today? Tell me in the comments. Okay, we have, do you have a fridge from Bad Game Noob? Yes, I do now have a fridge, thanks to Craze, who, I'm not sure if you remember this, but he was the patron behind Cactus Girl before I had a Patreon. It was a very nice moment. Basically, I met Craze in a Discord, and I was having a bit of a laugh about how I didn't own a fridge yet because we just moved and we didn't have a fridge. And Grace went, "That's insane, girl. Get yourself a fridge. Here's $30. So thank you very much to Craze for my fridge. I should probably put in a photo of the fridge here so you guys can see it. I still have a drawing on it that I drew for Craze to thank him. I also have some lovely fan art from my good friend Wayward. If you draw me fan art, I may print it and put it on the fridge. There you go. Sorry about any weird noises. That's my chair. I'm trying to be still, but it's gonna happen. Okay. So, how did you stumble upon ASMR in the first place? From Logi? And what was your first experience with ASMR from Disper? So, my answer to this is, in high school, I was having trouble sleeping, which is something I'm sure a lot of you can relate to. And I remembered when I was a kid, my mom had this guided relaxation book that was for children. And I remembered thinking, you know what, those were really awesome. What were those called? And so I looked up guided relaxation and I found this really short video. It was like maybe 5 minutes long. And it was really basic. It was like, you know, a wave of relaxation goes through you, starting at the top of your head and trickling down into your shoulders, blah, blah, blah. And I loved it. It was so good. I remember waking up like a big drooly mess. Like, whoa, I got knocked out. I need more of this. But that was back in about 2008. Maybe 2009, which was before they were called ASMR videos. They were just called whispers or relaxations. Thank God that they retitled it because it's so easier to find now. But yeah, I remember getting the tingly feeling and people would talk about it in the comments being like, this is heaven. And yeah, I know that I've had the ASMR experience outside of that. I used to get them at eye doctor visits, and just regular doctor visits, and sometimes as well if just someone would lean really close and explain something to me. Oh God, is that why I like people explaining things to me? Oof. But yeah, I think that's kind of what started it. Okay, the next one is a big one that was asked by a lot of you, so I'm not going to be able to shout all of you out because it really was a lot of you. And the question in general, I'm going to sum up with one, which is, why did you decide to start your YouTube channel? Asking for a friend, from Gemini. Now, Gemini knows exactly why she is being funny. So, the story behind why I got into it is kind of a secret, and as much as I would love to tell you guys, it's kinda bad. I'm just gonna say that it's not for the reason that you would think. I met with some friends and some events happened that were not great. But in the events, we found each other and we enjoyed each other's company, and we thought, hey, you know, it'd be really hilarious if we came out of this with our own channels. And I was like, hell yeah, we should absolutely do that. So yeah, I'm very sorry. Like, I know that seems like a very innocuous question, and you're probably even more curious now, but you know what? Maybe I'll tell you if we get to something higher, maybe 50k, maybe 40k. I'll do it for one of them, okay? But it's a big secret, okay? So, shh. Alrighty. Is there a particular piece of media that initially made you seriously consider doing the voice thing? From Russia. And yes, there is. It's a very weeby answer, but several years ago, I got into Japanese drama CDs, which are very much just role plays, but without the ASMR aspect. They're essentially just voice actor work. And I loved them. I thought the acting in them was great. It was really immersive. And I remember like just briefly entertaining the idea, going, man, that would be really fun to do, like on my own, do my own stories. But you know, when ideas sort of just fall down your mind and you don't really think about them too seriously. It took meeting my friends, Gemini and Rose and Box, to actually consider doing it for realsies. When did you start being a voice actor, and how do you simulate a kiss? Ooh woo. I think I wouldn't actually consider myself a voice actor most days. Most days I just think that I am a girl with a microphone. But someday I would like to be able to look at my stuff and go, yes, I am absolutely a voice actor. In regards to the second part of your question, I like to, one, get really kind of close to the mic, and I utilize the back of my hand or the side of my hand and just sort of kiss up on that. If I'm being particularly lewd with it, which I have only done once for College Yandere, and that was, you know, the last video I did before this one, I sort of stick my fingers a little bit in my mouth to make it a little bit more wet sounding. Very, very unappealing sounding, I know, but that's how I do it. What made you choose RP ASMR instead of the general trigger sounds ASMR? From Mizu. I like role plays. I really like writing stories, and I also love designing characters. Like it's really fun. And if I just did a general trigger sounds, it would be easier and I'd probably get it out faster. Like there'd be less editing. But I really love the storytelling aspect. But I have been thinking about incorporating more triggers, like tapping. Where's my can? There, like. It's something I've considered. I like the idea. I actually have some ASMR materials that I've been saving in a closet. I've got some bubble wrap, which is sort of the nice, soft, crinkly sounds. I have some empty cans because I collect cans. I think cans are neat. And I also have a cardboard cookie, which is something that I took from an ASMR artist that I can't remember her name right now. But I always loved how that sounded. I don't usually like cardboard sounds, but if it's a particular thickness, it sounds kind of nice. So yeah, if enough people requested it, I would be open to doing one. But I feel like most of you are here for the stories and the waifus, so I'm just gonna keep trucking with that. What did you expect when you started the channel? From Anzu? And did you ever think you would get this far? And do you plan on keeping up that quality content? From Domio. First off, to both of you, what did I expect? I expected very little. I'm not sure how many of my videos you've watched, but you can kind of hear it in the credits of the Train Girl when I've hit 100 subscribers. I really was shocked that that happened. And honestly, that feeling, it just gets amplified every time a 0 is added. Like, suddenly I had 1,000 subscribers and I was thinking, whoa, how did this many people find me, let alone press that button for me? What the? And when I hit 10K, I really, really couldn't believe it. Like, I was smiling all day. I'm smiling now thinking about it. Like, there are so many of you out there and you're all so lovely. But no, I didn't actually think I would get this far. Maybe there was a little part of me that really, really wanted to have my efforts recognized, but I was just having fun. And yes, I absolutely plan on keeping up the quality content, although I hope that I get more quality over time. What does it feel like reaching 10K? Did you ever think that your channel was going to grow to 10K? Also, congrats on 10K from Ugborn Grizzly. I suppose I just kind of answered this, but no, again, I really didn't. And thank you. Thank all of you for all your support. It really means a lot to me. What was your favorite milestone for your channel's growth so far? From Polly. And this is going to sound weird, but 2K. 2K was my favorite. Because that was when I released Succubus Wife. And she just blew up. It was completely out of nowhere because I didn't think it would happen. Because I just had Pirate Girl do a lot better than I thought she would. And suddenly I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna do Succubus Wife now. Let's see how she goes. And then she did even better. And I hit 2K, and then 3K, and then 5K. And I had no chance to do any milestone videos for it because it just happened so quickly. And that was when it started really feeling like, wow, this is actually happening. So that was my favorite. Congrats on the 10K. What can we expect for the future of your channel? Any goals for 100K? Here's to the next 10K. From the very lovely Rose. And we also have, do you have any plans for your future milestones? From Uwu Furry, trademarked. And my answer to that is, you can expect more roleplays. I want to try different kinds of characters, and I also want to be a little bit more ambitious with the art. I would love to learn how to animate a little bit. You can see in the Yandere videos, I like to change the character art, the expressions to reflect what they're saying. And that was really well received. People really were kind of surprised by it, and that always makes me giggle because I'll get like a comment going, I saw her face change out of the corner of my eye and it terrified me. And it makes it worth it, even though it takes like an extra day to edit. As for any plans for the future milestones, I'd love to learn how to stream. But at the moment, it's a little bit complicated. I'm more working towards soundproofing than streaming. But that'd be neat. What's your favorite part of doing the ASMR VA stuff and the channel? From B. And my answer to that, let me just get a bit more comfortable again. My favorite part is mostly the creative outlet. Like, I really like just going absolutely wild with character designs and concepts. Like, I like talking to people and going, you know what, that's an idea. That would be fucking great. Ooh, our first F-bomb. I've been trying so hard to avoid them. Shh. Australian. I can't help it. I also like that I can help people get to sleep because, I don't know, I've fallen asleep to a lot of these kinds of videos, and it's nice to be able to give back. Where do you get inspiration for your characters in your ASMR? And do you ever use a process when creating your own characters? Both from Disper. So, I get inspiration everywhere. So, basically, certain ones are really obvious. They're just character tropes from anime, like yandere or a shy girl. Those are really simple, like you see them in everything. And I'll start with a basic concept, and then I design them, and then I script write, which apparently is reversed for other people. A lot of people like to write the script and then design the character, but I like to draw up the girl and then go, what is she like? And then I build her around that. Most of my inspiration, I'd say, is from anime and games. I don't watch a lot of movies these days. But yeah, I'd say that would be it. How do you approach a concept given to you by a fan? Also from Disper. So, if it's a commission, I'll just ask as much as I can. But ideally, I'd like to be able to bring something of my own to the table, because otherwise you're not really getting an audio from me. You're just having me read it, which is also fine. Like, I wouldn't mind just doing some regular voice acting-y stuff. But I've had some really fun kind of concepts, like, and they usually start as jokes, like Cactus Girl was a joke. Also Mint Chip. Mint Chip was a very funny story. I'd joined a Discord, and upon joining, I had been asked by Essie, who I mentioned in that video as well, if I liked mint chip ice cream. And I said no, which was the wrong answer. So he told me to get out, and I told him I would make a video for him. And I did. And she's still really fun. So that wasn't really a concept given to me by a fan, though. That was more me bartering to stay in a Discord. Have there been any downsides so far with the whole ASMR ordeal? Have there been any negative consequences you regret, etc.? From Tara. So, I think the biggest one would probably be that a lot of people meet me and expect me to be a really soft, therapist-y kind of person. Which, to be fair, you guys before this video would have no way of knowing what kind of person I am, and even in this video I'm dialing it back. I'm usually much more high energy than this. But I've been in some uncomfortable situations where people want me to take care of their problems. They come to me and they ask for advice or comfort, and I'm really bad at that. So that's probably been the worst so far. I've had a fairly good time of it overall, I think. Have the people around you, including family, friends, other loved ones, accepted your current standing and your passion for ASMR? Yes. So, my partner has. He fully supports it. My older sister is also aware of it, as is my mother. I've kept it a little bit secret from my in-laws, but maybe they know by now. And the funniest one is probably my dad. I told him that I'm doing a podcast because I didn't want to explain what ASMR was to him, because he's not very open to that sort of thing. He doesn't like the idea of falling asleep to people talking to you because he thinks that they'll take advantage of you somehow in your brain. So I just told him it was a podcast. And then my cousin, who I had told, dropped the ASMR bomb on him in the street, but he has not asked me any further questions, so maybe he forgot. I kind of hope so anyway. What are your thoughts on people who make lewd, not safe for work ASMR? And would you ever make lewd ASMR, sell lewd ASMR on your Patreon, draw lewd, sell lewd drawings on Patreon? From Gemini and Copip. So, I love them. I wonder if that is shocking to you. I fully support people who make the adult content. I think they're very creative and brave, because it's a market, it's a niche. It's also very fun. Would I consider doing it? Absolutely. When I had commissions open, I actually had it on offer, but nobody took me up on it. I've never done it before, but I feel like it would be something that would be fun to learn, from a storytelling perspective as well. Also just technique-wise, because I don't mind doing the kiss sounds, so I imagine, like, I wouldn't mind doing the other sounds either. As for drawing them, I feel like my anatomy isn't quite good enough yet. Like, I'm still struggling with hands. I don't know how I do with positioning. But yeah, as long as everyone is an adult, I am totally cool with it. Absolutely fine with it. Okay. Have you ever had issues with YouTube demonetizing throttling videos? Succubus wife comes to mind from Chaos H. Very minor issues so far. I've been quite lucky, because recently I know several ASMR artists who have been hit really hard with the demonetization strikes and whatnot. The worst that I have is that a lot of my videos will get flagged as inappropriate within the first, I'll upload them and they instantly get flagged. I think that's part of the YouTube algorithm though, because if you tag something with yandere, bam, that gets limited. Same with sundere, they don't like any of the deres pretty much. But my way of combating that is essentially I just leave it private or unlisted for 24 hours, which I have to do anyway because I have audios up for Patreon people for 12 to 24 hours beforehand. And then I release it once it's unlimited, so I haven't had a problem so far. If you could change one thing about how the mainstream perceives ASMR, what would you change? From John. And I feel like the main thing I would change is just the general stigma that it's weird. Because for the most part, it's fairly accepted. I haven't run into too many people who think it's weird. But there are people like my dad that I mentioned that think it's a little bit creepy. That's probably the only aspect that I would want to change. Do you ever think that ASMR will become a serious business the way that music and video games have? Do you ever think we'll have legit ASMR critics and lists of people who have been labeled as legends and innovators? Or is that already happening and I'm just out of the loop? From Disper. I just need to say this now. Dispa, way to go with your questions. Good job, buddy. I think it's a really interesting kind of genre of its own, and it absolutely has critics and people who are regarded as sort of like icons, like GB, Gentle Whispering. Why am I blanking so hard? Not a lot of anime ASMR roleplay artists are regarded as icons because we're sort of like a niche in a niche. But I already know off the top of my head, like I would regard Cardlin as sort of an icon for us. Kuji is pretty high up there, Fallen Shadow. Then there are the ones that I look up to, which I think will one day be regarded as icons. Lemon Leaf is probably my favorite one to name drop. If you're listening, hi Lily. Anyway, there are ASMR critics as well. Like, I know that I have preferences in audios, and I will sometimes listen to an audio and be like, that could have been done a little bit better. And I know that people do that to mine as well. And I appreciate that because I have friends who help me by going, that audio was good, but you could have done better in this part or that part. And I think that's helpful. As for them being legit, though, I don't know. I don't know how legit it would ever go. Who knows? We'll see what the future holds. How do you feel about certain tropes, yandere, lewd, suggestive, being significantly more popular than others in ASMR roleplay audios? Does this influence the kinds of videos that you make? From Lemon Leaf. Absolutely. Which I know is a bad thing to admit, but I do like trying my hand at the popular tropes because they're really fun, because there's so many of them. But at the same time, I still like to go back to audios that I know that people aren't going to care so much about, but just because they make me happy. Like, for instance, we have my Apocalypse Rado audio, Mimi. She was not popular. People do not like being left for dead on the side of the road. But I loved doing that. That was really fun. And I'm definitely going to do a sequel in the future. Even though it's not popular. But I definitely like to throw in one of the bigger crowd drawing videos now and then. Just to see if I can. Just to see how it goes. Anyway, love your work. Mwah. Thank you for the question. What is your stance on how most of your audience and the audio roleplay genre audience in general have anxiety and depression and use you and other people's videos as a means to feel like they're a normal person and have someone to talk to? From Slump. This is a really, really hard question, and I appreciate it a lot. My stance on it is that I don't mind if my audios or audios in general offer people a sense of comfort, because anxiety and depression are terrible. They're just, it's awful. It's absolutely terrible living with anxiety and depression. I don't think that you should use them as your main coping mechanism. I think that genuine mental health help would be required. But I don't think it's terrible to use them now and then, if you're lonely, because let's face it, we've all been lonely before. What's the most difficult part of making a video? From Chalkiest Milk. That would probably be the writing, which takes days, if I am actually applying myself hard and not playing something dumb, like Bubble Burst or Honey Pop. And then editing. Editing is so hard. Oh my god. How much time do you spend making videos on average? from Natsu Dragnail. Now, we all know that my upload schedule is terrible, so it's quite a while. Typically, if we're talking about on average, it takes about 2 weeks. I would love to get that time down, because I know that having a slow upload schedule disappoints people, and I'd like to be able to do more, but not at the risk of affecting the quality, because if I rush a script, it's super obvious. Like, I'm not gonna drop a video here, but actually, no, I will. Cactus Girl was a little bit rushed, I think. I'm thinking back as hard as I can. I'm pretty sure it was Cactus Girl. Also, the anti-Valentine's Day one, that one was a little bit rushed as well, but I think that I did a better job. So yeah, I try and take my time, but I'm also going to try and apply myself a little bit more, because, you know, want to do my best. What strategies do you use to recover from ASMR artist block? If you don't get ASMR artist block, what strategies do you use to avoid it? From Disper. And I absolutely get ASMR artist block, although I just call it writer's block because that's the part that I have the worst experience with. And my main strategy is talk to Captain Nemo. If you don't know who that is, he is in my affiliated channels links. He is fantastic, and if I ever need to bounce ideas off someone, he is pretty much the first person that I go crying to. Like, I don't know what to do, help me. And he hasn't let me down yet. So, thank you, Nemo. Will you ever branch out from ASMR, from Heal, or will this channel be exclusively ASMR, or will other content be posted as well? From Ijoni. And my answer to those is that I want to keep this channel exclusively voice work. I don't mind the idea of just doing actual, like, VA voice acting stuff, but I prefer ASMR. ASMR feels a little bit more tactical. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, you can use it, which is why I like it. But I wouldn't be against the idea of doing some general voice stuff. I'd also wouldn't be totally against the idea of streaming things, as long as I still try and maintain the ASMR stuff, because that's my real reason for this. But yeah, that's probably all I'm gonna branch out into. It's still gonna be very voice oriented. Who are your favorite ASMR artists? And what's your favorite ASMR channel? My favorite ASMR artists, you, Gemini, as well as Captain Nemo and AitoASMR, who are both very underrated. So, Nemo has probably my favorite voice of all the ASMR artists and VAs. And Aito's videos are guaranteed knockouts. Like, every time I want to go to sleep and nothing is working, I will hit up an Aito video. He makes really nice long ones, particularly Homestuck for Dummies, which I can safely say I was one of the people who inspired that by being one of the dummies who can't sit through all of Homestuck. And other than that, I'm a big fan of Lemon Leaf. I also really like Moshi as well. They're kind of icons though. Like, I've been fangirling over Lemon Leaf since end of last year when Gemini recommended her to me. And I'm very grateful she did, because that channel, so good. Fave non-ASMR YouTuber. From Weishi. And I know exactly what Wayward here is after. I like friendly Geordies. There you go. There's also other ones like, I don't know if I'd call them a favorite, but I sort of fall down the rabbit hole of watching like Watch Mojo lists and that sort of thing. So, yeah, that kind of stuff. As a listener, what kind of roleplays do you seek out? What about them makes you gravitate towards those particular ones? From Charmaine. I like story-oriented roleplays. Preferably they can stand on their own. I get a little intimidated if it says like part 5 or part 7. Also, I'm gonna sound very, very, what's the word that I want here? Basic. I like boyfriend roleplays. I like girlfriend roleplays. I like the lovey-dovey stuff. I think that it's great. So that's why I like to do those. When is the next collab? From Mac. And my answer to that is soon, I hope. There may be one uploaded this month, not on this channel. I'm currently working on 2. I really hope that they'll still work with me. I've taken my sweet time, and I know that you guys are very patient, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you a lot. Yeah. Which ASMR artists would you like to collab with that you haven't already worked with? From Baka or Sony. And I would love to finally collab with Gem, because that's always been the dream. Also Usagi from Usagi Doto. I think that would be really sweet. If we're wishing for stuff, there's a lot of ASMR artists that I look up to, like Mother Macabre. Maybe Fearless Lynn, that would be kind of cool. But yeah, I'm open to the idea of collabing with people. But you know, gotta start small. Don't want to dream too big. Are we gonna get an epic, maybe art or gamer stream soon? Or would you ever do a live ASMR stream from Mac and Blazing? Soon, I hope. I mentioned before, I don't quite know how to stream yet. I need to do a little bit of research. But yeah, I'm really keen to do some maybe art streams first, because I like doing art. I feel like that's really relaxing, seeing a drawing come together. And I've streamed on the Discord before once. I got really nervous though. As for games, there are a few games I think could work, so I'm still considering that. Okay, this question was asked by a lot of people, so who is your favorite character or girl from a past video so far? And the answer to that, I have 3 of them. Pirate Girl, Succubus Wife, and Yandere, College Yandere. Which is the Yandere best friend, if you didn't read the community post. I originally called her Koyan when I was writing. All of them were really fun to act, and they also were received really well, which I think kind of bolstered my happy feelings about them. So yeah, they were my favorites. What voice do you have the most fun using from Ash Awesome? So, instinctively, I tend to do the ooh voice. I tend to go up here, which you'd think is my favorite, but it's actually not. I actually like doing the lower one better, because it's different, and the responses are so cute. I really like doing that. It's so fun. Which video are you the most proud of? From Earl. Hi, Earl. Again, I think that the ones I'm the most proud of are College Yandere, Succubus Wife, and Pirate Girl. I'm also a little proud of Mint Chip because she's a weird concept and I had a lot of fun with her, so. Which of your characters has been the hardest to play? By Solix. So, I need to preface this by saying that I still had fun with this, but because she was my first proper commission and I didn't write her, I had a hard time with Robot Nurse because it was like, oh no, am I doing a good enough job? Well, what do I do? But she turned out well. You guys liked her, so. Which ASMR was the hardest for you to write, record, guest appearances included? So for that, it's both of my collabs so far, which was Magic 8 Ball with Captain Nemo, because I was so nervous about not editing it together correctly. Like, I wanted to do a good job, because he did such a good job, and I didn't want to waste that. And again with Sorelei, the first date collaboration, because she did a beautiful job editing hers, and I'm still a little bit of a noob when it comes to editing, so I feel like I didn't do as great a job. So yeah, that one was the hardest to record because I would spend a lot of time fretting over how it sounded. What was the most fun recording session so far? By Der Fuchs. And that would be College Yandere, because I don't know if you can tell, but when she finally snaps and goes like full yandere, I kind of really let myself go in the moment and just had a lot of fun with it. And I haven't had that before in an audio. And I just remember looking back going, whoa, where did that come from? That was some acting. Good job. So yeah, that's been the most fun. F, marry, kill from your characters. Oh, PG, right? So hold hands, marry, kill. We're adults here. We're gonna F, marry, kill. So I would F Dawn, because come on, we keep running into each other. It's bound to happen. Fate wants us to get together. I would marry Succubus Waifu because, come on, she is my wife. And I would kill Cactus Girl because she's not real. Okay. Which two characters from your channel would you consider could be BFFs, and which two would be enemies for life? I feel like BFFs. I feel like Mary, the childhood friend, would get along really well with Annabelle from the train. Annabelle would be really shy, but Mary would do her best to pull her out of her shell. As for enemies, all I can think of are the sort of the harsher characters like Mimi. Also, if best friend Yandere went up against anybody who was trying to take away their person, she probably would not like them very much. When will you make a vid in full Steve Irwin Australian? Australian accents are really hard. Even if I tried to do one for you now, I wouldn't know how well that would go. So, how would, like, stray a mate? I don't know. Okay. This one's a lot of questions. What is your favorite dere type to do? Yandere was a lot of fun. If you could make another part to any of your videos, what would it be and why? I would like to make a second part to pretty much all of them. I think the one that I would like a sequel to soonest would probably be Mimi. Or the prequel to Succubus Wife, because I've got a lot of people asking for a sequel. But if I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how a sequel would go in terms of, you know, PG rated content. I'm pretty sure that the sequel would have to be the final part. Do you draw your own art or do you have someone else do it? I draw my own art. That is all by me. I love seeing how I've improved so far. What video I'm most proud of? I've already talked about that. Oh, and the optional question. Do I deem hentai as a form of art? I absolutely do. A lot of hard work goes into those. Like, have you seen the composition work? Some of it is, and some of those, like, character designs are absolutely gorgeous. Like, beautiful. And those questions were from Jindal-chan, so thank you for that. Are we getting more Nemo VA girls soon? From Rose. And yes, we are, and we should be getting one soon. I'm currently working on our, how would I put it? She wears an eye patch and she's very cringy, so I think you guys can guess what kind of character she's gonna be like. What's the most out there character you want to try for your channel? From Wayward. And I want to try more bully sort of characters, which is good because I've got some requests for that. So they're a little bit difficult to write because I don't like doing anything that's going to be fake, hurtful, you know? Like, I want it to be funny. I don't know if that makes sense or not. I want it to be enjoyable. I don't want people to listen to it and actually feel like really terrible. At least that's for the funny bully ones. I do know that some people listened to 8-Ball and genuinely felt insulted, which was a little bit funny. But yeah. As much as we wish it could, we all know this ASMR thing can't last forever. But in the future, when you look back on your time as an ASMR artist, how do you want to be remembered by the ASMR artists of the future? From Captain Nemo. First of all, how dare you do this to me? In front of all these people. But my answer is, I want people to remember it with a smile. I want people to think back and I've had fun with it, for it to have made their day a little bit brighter. I know that a couple of people have said that some of the videos have inspired them to write or create stuff of their own, and if I can have that kind of impact on people, then in the long term that's really cool. And while it can't last forever, I am definitely going to try and do this at least for as long as I can. As long as you will let me. Thank you, Nemo. So this one is one of the big ones. What is your favorite anime? Or anime characters? And that is a weighted question. So I'm actually going to bring up my anime list now. Let's take a look. So I have a favorites tag that's going to help me out. So currently, as I write this, I'm really enjoying Machikado Mazoku, which is really cute. Also, I really liked Quintessential Quintuplets from this year. I really liked Higurashi way back in the day. Hunter x Hunter made me cry. I also like slice of life stuff because it's relaxing and funny. Like, I liked Lucky Star. I know a lot of people didn't. I'm also big into One Piece. I think One Piece is incomparable in terms of its reach. It's just amazing. It's also changed my life. There was a period of time where I was very depressed, and One Piece was something I looked forward to. It was a reason to get out of bed and keep going. And I don't keep up with it as much as I used to, but it really did help me out. I also really like the trashier kind of anime, like Food Wars. No shame. The most controversial anime that I am into, and I know a lot of you are going to fling yourselves backwards when you hear this. I like School Days. Favorite characters, though, is a lot harder. Let me click. Maybe, can I get to my profile? Yes, I can. Okay, so in terms of favorite characters, my favorite is probably Mikan Sumiki from Danganronpa. But I have kind of a type. I like girls with long purple or long blue hair. And when it comes to male characters, they're a little bit all over the place because I really like Usopp from One Piece. I think he's funny. And he's so brave. He's such an icon. I also like Killua from Hunter x Hunter. I know that that's pronounced Hunter Hunter, by the way. Apparently the X is silent, but I like to upset people by saying things wrong. I do that a lot, by the way. That is my obnoxious laugh that I do. Okay. Gamer or nah from Pancake. Nah. What video games do you play, or do you like to play video games? What games do you play right now? Okay, so seriously now, I play for the most part, like very casually. I have a pretty big library of games, but I haven't played all of them. I'm really bad at first-person shooters, but I still give them a go. Like, I used to play Overwatch on Xbox. I also really like puzzle games, like Honey Pop, which I know is hilarious to hear. Everybody on the Discord would take screenshots whenever my now playing message said Honey Pop. Right now, I am slowly grinding away at Bubble Burst, which is like a game that was $2.50. It's just a time waster game. I'm also considering reinstalling The Sims 3, but if I do that, you guys will probably lose me for about, God, 3 to 4 straight days. And I've been trying to avoid that because I've got work to do. I'm also really looking forward to the Outer Worlds. Like, oof, it looks so good. So good. Maybe it can finally fill the hole that's been left in my soul from Obsidian. Which leads into the next question. Hey Vivi, favorite video game of all time from Fortune and Exploding Apple? And the answer to that is Fallout New Vegas, which is the best Fallout. I will not accept any other answer. And it was a perfect game. That game I play at least once a year. I know it like the back of my hand. I know where everything is. I always get to Novak with at least 25 blue Sunset Sarsaparilla chips. I am partial to the NCR. I keep trying to do an evil run, but I hate hurting their feelings. I can't do it. And that's why I hope that the Outer Worlds is going to be good. Fingers crossed. Click. Favorite games, console, or handheld? So, I own all of the consoles. When I was younger, I only had a Sony PlayStation and a fairly bad computer, but it could play Diablo. I always wanted a Game Boy, but I never got one until I was like, God, 12, 13. But for the most time, I was on Xbox. Like I said, I used to play Overwatch almost at least every day or every other day. Had to do them heals. I I don't know what would be my favorite anymore, though. I mostly play Switch because I like to play Mario Kart with some friends on Discord. But I may get into PC gaming because we've got a good desktop now, so that'd be fun. What is your favorite Pokemon? From Gem. That would be Miltank and Haunter. And after that, it's a little bit hard. Like, I like a lot of Pokemon. I feel like last month I was talking to a friend, Nemo, I think it was, and I asked what Pokemon would suit me or which one I should get. And I was thinking Bennett. I was thinking, he's not going to say that though. And then he said Bennett. And that was really, really trippy because, like, I haven't told anybody that I like Bennett until now. So yeah, I like ghost Pokemon. I think they're cute. They're really cool. Who would you want to be added to Smash? From Dragon's Rule. Waluigi. We have been rubbed. We need Waluigi. Now, I know a lot of people are like, yeah, we have Luigi, we have Wario, why do we need Waluigi? You shut up right now, we need Waluigi, okay? I cry myself to sleep thinking about how Waluigi was robbed. Although, when I am playing Smash Brothers, I play as Kirby, and even if Waluigi was added, I would not play as Waluigi. But you know what? He deserves to be happy. He deserves to smash. This goes out to you, Waluigi. Who is your favorite superhero? Waluigi. No. Okay, for real, I'm not super into superheroes. Sorry. I do like Wonder Woman, though. For kind of shallow reason. She's really pretty. She's also really cool. And then my dad's really into Batman, so I kind of grew up with all, like, the DC heroes. But Marvel is, like, the really popular one. But I'm kind of more into the classics. Do you play Minecraft? Minecraft or Fortnite? From Away Team and Eggslayer. Yes, I play Minecraft. I was pushed into that earlier this year from some friends from the Discord. And it was fun. I didn't think I'd enjoy it, but I really did. I like leaving signs everywhere. That's my favorite thing to do. I like digging holes and leaving signs. Those are the best. I have never played Fortnite and I don't really plan to, but you know what? It makes people happy, so good for them. How many visual novels have you played? From Taco. And I counted these beforehand because I saw this question and I was like, oh god, I'm not going to open Steam while I'm recording. And I have 40 at the moment. I've only played, god, maybe 7 or 8 of them. I have a lot. Blame Gem. She bought me a whole bunch for Christmas and I love her so much. And I love owning visual novels because I'm like, I have so much to read, but then I never read them. I need to do that though. Maybe I could do like a read through someday. Okay. What's your favorite movie from Totally Not Pixie? And my favorite movie is Summer Wars, which is an anime film, and it's beautiful. The animation is beautiful. The story is beautiful. I love all the characters. Like, I watch it at least once a year. At least once. And it just makes my heart happy. I think it's a Mamoru Hosoda film. I think that's his name. Anyway, he does really good stuff. I haven't liked all of his films, but that's definitely the best one. What are your thoughts on the show Gravity Falls? If you haven't seen it, would you consider watching it? Well, I'm gonna cut you off right there, Taco, because I love Gravity Falls. And I love Grunkle Stan. Grunkle Stan is amazing and everything I aspire to be in life. A grumpy old man. What else? What is your favorite show of all time, anime or otherwise? A from B. My favorite show, we're gonna say not anime just because I've already talked about them. I really like Friends and Community. 30 Rock. 30 Rock is a big one. I love watching and rewatching 30 Rock because I feel a deep affinity for Liz Lemon. I also watch cartoons. I'm kind of into SpongeBob at the moment, like I've been watching that to fall asleep. Squidward is a really big mood. Yeah. Do you read often? If so, what has been your favorite book recently? If you don't read often, alternatively, what's your favorite book you've read in general? Asked by both Taco and Polly. I used to read a lot. I used to review books as well. I worked in a bookstore. Not a lot of you know that. I had 2 jobs for a period of time before I stopped and started doing the ASMR thing instead. So I did do a lot of reading. I haven't had a lot of good fiction books lately, though. My favorite book that I've read recently has actually been a nonfiction one, which was How to Sound Cultured. And it was really fun because it talked about just famous people in history that kind of poncy people like to bring up in conversation. And it gives you a quick rundown of what they're like so you can keep up. And I need that because I have no idea about a lot of these people. Okay. Favorite Homestuck kid from AitoASMR. So I'm still learning about Homestuck thanks to Aito. But my favorite so far is probably Dave. Although I do like John and Rose. I'm yet to learn more about Jade, so I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt. Yeah. And again, thank you so much for your videos. I have enjoyed so much sleep because of you. Thank you. Including on a train one time. That's how powerful they are. I can almost never sleep on trains, but bam. Do you have a favorite music genre, and what are some of the bands that you like from that genre? From Gemini. Also asked by Simon and Isaiah Albers. So this is probably going to sound really weird because everybody says they like music. And no, I'm not going to say that I don't like music. I do. I definitely do. Everybody. Well, most people like music. But I really only like general stuff. I'm mostly into pop, I think. I used to be into alternative. At the moment, I feel like my favorites that I've been playing a lot of have been like Carly Jepsen, Coheed and Cambria, Panic at the Disco. Sort of flip-flops between like lots of different artists. I also listen to a lot of J-pop, but I don't have a favorite band. It's just anime openings that are catchy or boppy, and I just put it on repeat. I'm also really into Vocaloid, which I'm sure you're cringing right now. That's all right, though. That's fine. Favorite Vocaloid would be Luca. Sorry, Miku. Do you play any instruments? No, I did try and learn both piano and guitar at one stage. Guitar, I lasted about 3 lessons, and then my fingers started to hurt and I didn't stick with it, which was probably a huge mistake. I do remember some of the chords, but I can't play a full song. Piano, I stopped learning because, and this sounds really weird, my sister was learning and I figured that I would let it be her thing, which is, you know, siblings can both like the same thing, but I was like, nah, she's better at it. I'm not gonna do it. Honestly, I probably would have given up anyway. Like, I liked to do other things instead, like games, writing, doodling anime girls with big titties. What's your favorite guilty pleasure song? Anything by Aqua. At the moment, I have been playing a lot of Aqua, like Barbie Girl and Halloween. I love those. They are fantastic. And yeah, that's probably what I'd go for. I was wondering what really got you into doing art, like what you do in the first place. I'm rephrasing questions because I don't just want to compliment myself all the time, and B, you give a lot of compliments. Thank you. I appreciate it. I got into art because my family is really big into art. Almost my entire mother's side are artists. They all paint or sketch or photograph. Some of them are architects now as well, so they can also do technical drawings as well as their regular art. And I was just surrounded by it, so everybody gave each other art stuff at Christmas or birthdays, and I got into it when I was young. Like, it was fun. It was a way to kill time. And then when I was older, I got into manga, and I was like, whoa, this is pretty. I want to do this. So I would spend afternoons just kind of like copying art styles, particularly like clamp Chobits. I was big into Chobits. And I just sort of developed from there, I think. Do you have a favorite artist? Like online or famous or whatever? Also by B. I really like Pochi. Pochi did an eldest sister like one. Is that what it's called? I've got the book here. Yeah, the elder sister like one. I love Pochi's art style. It's beautiful. I also really like, I think their name's Hyana Natsu on Instagram. They also do some speed paints or speed throughs on YouTube of their art. It's really pretty. Also Razuri art on Instagram. She's gorgeous. Absolutely. Who are the artists that inspired your actual art style? I've heard that my art style looks a lot like 2000s anime. I don't know if that's mid or late 2000s, but I can kind of see it. And I think that's because I consumed so much of that media, so. What do you do while drawing your thumbnails? Like playing music, listening to a podcast, or an audiobook? From Rose. And it really changes here and there. Like, for the most part, I like to watch something because thumbnails can take a while. But my ideal is actually to sit in a voice chat and just talk to people while I'm drawing, because that way, if I get stuck, I can throw it into a channel and go, guys, this looks weird. Can you help me? And then they're all like, oh, the hand is really messed up. Fix them fingers. And that's really helpful. But if I can't have that, then I'll watch a TV show or throw on a playlist of something. I typically avoid music because I'm constantly having to skip songs, and that gets really annoying. Very, very rarely I will listen to ASMR while I do it. But that's got the same thing. I've got to constantly switch up the tracks. Coffee or tea? Tea. But if I have a choice, I will pick hot chocolate over coffee or tea any day. That is my bias. Chocolate milk or strawberry milk? That would be chocolate milk. What flavored water do you like? I remember I used to like a berry flavor because I used to buy them at school almost every day. But I can't remember now. Like, I was in Sydney somewhat recently, and they had a lemon and mint flavored one, or mint and something, and I did not like that. It wasn't terrible, but like I wouldn't buy it again. Okay. Favorite kind of Oreos or cookie if I'm not tasty from a pack of Oreos? I'm going to be very basic here. I love regular Oreos. Also, Australia doesn't really offer that many in terms of like the many other flavors. Like I know in America and maybe other countries you guys get lots of cool limited flavors, but Australia doesn't get those. We only have like regular, like the vanilla cream and maybe chocolate cream. We also get like the wafer sticks, which are okay, but like they're not my favorite. So I just like regular. What's your favorite type of pizza if you have one? From Mr. Fahrenheit. So my favorite kind would be meat lovers, but I like cheese burst crust best out of the rest of the pizza. Like the pizza could just be like cheese or I don't know, margarita, pepperoni. I wouldn't really care. I want cheese burst crust. That's all I want. What are your thoughts on pineapple on pizza? I hate it. It's too sweet. It tastes weird on pizza. I'm sorry. What are your top 3 pizza toppings? Meat. Meat is the big one. Cheese. God, just meat. I'm sorry. Like I'm being really basic here, but like I don't like vegetables on my pizza. Like I can handle some onions, but that's it. Okay? And it can only be like a little bit of onion. Can't be a lot or it ruins the pizza. Hamburgers or hot dogs? Burgers, but I do love both. I actually have a really dumb dream where I want to go to America and try like a hot dog with like all of the stuff on it because they look so good in movies. But all of my friends keep telling me that hot dogs are terrible and that it's not worth it. But you know what? I'm going to do it anyway. You can't stop me. I'm going to get that fucking hot dog. And I just swore for a second time. Oh no. Shh. Don't tell on me. Tacos or burritos? As it said, ¿por qué no los dos? Why can't we have both? I like both. Both is good. McDonald's or Burger King? In Australia, we don't have Burger King. We have Hungry Jack's. And a few weeks ago, I may have said McDonald's, but there has recently been a bad development in my relationship with McDonald's. We are no longer speaking. They took the kids. So I'm going to have to pick Hungry Jack's or Burger King. What is your favorite fast food restaurant? Macca's until recently. And yes, I am Australian, so we call it Macca's, and we fight in the car park. That is what we do. But right now, it's Pizza Hut. They have these chicken wings that are really good with this, like, honey mustard sauce, and great, now that I've talked about it, I want them. Oh no. Go to Macca's order. Anything but chicken. And that is all that I'm going to say about McDonald's for now. What is something in pop culture that you love but everyone else seems to hate? And I'm going to answer this with another question. How do you feel about the yandere archetype? Do you like or dislike them? I love yanderes. And I know that some of you may be like, that's not controversial. Yandere is super popular. What are you talking about? And you're right, it is. Lots of people like yandere, but it's also kind of controversial. Like, a lot of people dislike yandere, and for totally valid reasons, because, you know, not everybody likes that. But I really enjoy it. It's fun. And how do you explain it? It's like having someone be totally devoted to you, and there's There's definitely appeal to that in a fantasy setting. It's not really appealing in real life. But yeah, that would be my answer. Number 1 waifu and husbando from Usagi Doto. And my number 1 waifu would be Mikan from Danganronpa. Husbando, I'm very on the fence about this. Because I like a lot of different ones, but I don't know who I could actually settle down with for good. So we're gonna have to leave that open for now. Maybe I'll figure it out. I don't know. Someone that can take care of me. And not a jerk. So, you know, no Seto Kaibas or anything like that. What character, original anime video game, would you take as your prom date? They don't really have prom here in Australia. But if I did, I guess I'm gonna have to go with Mikan. She's really pretty. That would be fun. But she'd probably fall over and be really cute, so... Are there any characters that you would ever like to cosplay as? The only one that I can think of, which I've been thinking of for years, but I've yet to actually do it, is Taukaka from BlazBlue. Because I used to like BlazBlue a fair bit, and Taukaka is really cute. Plus, she's got an obscured face, and her hoodie's cute. So, you know, I'd be able to cosplay and not have to face reveal. What's a character in fiction that you can really relate to and see yourself as? That is hard. This is one of those times where it would have been good for me to study up and write something down. This is gonna sound a little bit conceited. Rock Lee from Naruto. So, oh, that was my chair. Sorry about the noises, by the way. Thank you if you have come all the way from the beginning of the video to this point. Good job. I say Rock Lee because he works so hard, and I respect that a lot. Even though it's not easy for him, because it's easier for other people, because, you know, it's talent versus hard work. And I've had a hard time in life trying to be better than I am, because it doesn't come easily. I have a hard time learning things and remembering things. So I have to work through that. So characters that persevere through hard work are just really good to me. Like, I really like them, and I relate to them a lot because I want to work hard too. So yeah. If you could travel the world free of charge, where would you go first and why? And what part of the world would you go to that you haven't been to already? And what part of Australia would you visit that you haven't before? From Poppy. So if I could travel the world, I would first want to meet more of my American friends because I really, really actually want to meet them. Like, I want to meet Jem. I want to hang out. I want to go to Vegas. I want to check out all of the new Vegas stuff. I don't really care about going to other touristy spots too much. I just want to eat food. In terms of Australia, I suppose I mostly want to visit Adelaide. I don't want to go anywhere too far north because, like, it gets really warm and I'd like to avoid that. I don't like the heat. If you were given a chance to move your lineage, belongings, and even everyone in your life to another country, would you take it? If so, what country would you move to and why? I don't think that I would. I'm probably just going to stay put. Seems like less effort. Australia's not that bad. Like, as a country, we've got our problems the same as, like, other countries do, but I think it's alright, like, for the most part. What's the longest time you've been camping? From Captain Bubbles. So, I hate camping. I'm not an outdoorsy person at all, which is funny because my mother absolutely loves the outdoors. She's a huge nature hippie. And when I went on vacation, I used a phrase saying going fishing, and a lot of you thought I was being literal. I'm so sorry. I don't fish. I don't camp. The longest that I went camping is actually a funny story. I was invited by a school friend, and it was meant to be for like a weekend, but then over the school holidays. But then he kept asking his mom to call my parents and ask if I could stay another day. And it got to day 4 and I just burst out crying because I wanted to go home and I wanted to play PlayStation because I had gotten the Digimon World game. So I remember when I got home, I ran around hugging things, being like, yay, I'm not camping anymore. I hate camping. And I haven't been camping since. Do you have any plans for moving in the future? Not currently. Recently moved. Like I said, I used to live near the beach. Now I live a lot further inland. So if we're lucky, we don't have to move again. We get to stay put because I kind of like this place. Aside from the echo, I kind of want to soundproof a little bit better. But yeah. Do you enjoy going on bike rides? From Viraxo? And this is absolutely on purpose. I don't know how to ride a bike. I used to know how to ride a bike when I was a kid, but I forgot how. I don't know how, but I did. Anyway, I also don't know how to swim. Moving on. Ass or titties? Titties. Ooh or oh from Max Clements. Oh god, this is even harder. Oh no. How do I make a decision between these two facets of everyone's personality? I'm gonna have to say oh. I have to pick oh. Introvert or extrovert? So I was sort of an introvert in high school. I'm not really anymore. I like hanging out with people. I get tired if I leave the house for too long though. So I don't think that's introversion though. I think that's just me being lazy. I just need to work on that. Pusheen or Bongo Cat? Pusheen. I am big into Pusheen. I have a lot of Pusheen like merchandise. I have little Pusheen plushies. I have a Pusheen bowl, a teapot. Just cute Pusheen stuff. I love Pusheen. Do you have a boyfriend/girlfriend? From Ivergy? And yes, I do. I mentioned him briefly at the beginning of the audio. He's very supportive. I've been with him since high school, so we've been together for 10 years. And he proposed in, what was it? Was it June or August? It may have been August. That's really bad. I can't remember. Oh no. Yeah, so we've been together for a while. He's cool. You'd like him. Idea of your perfect date? Indoors. I like indoor dates. Food, talking. Mwah, love it. Great. I want more of that. I don't like, know what I'll tell you? My idea of a terrible date would be anything at the beach. No, rock climbing. If they took me rock climbing, that would be an instant dump. Like, no. I would turn and leave immediately. Do not take me rock climbing. What is your favorite holiday? From Le Fruit Cup. And my favorite holiday is Halloween. The only reason why I don't say Christmas is because I used to work in retail for a very long time, so Christmas has been a little bit ruined for me. Also, my birthday isn't technically a holiday, but again, I used to work on my birthday. Halloween is just fun. You get to be really silly, and I like just the spirit around it, you know, taking scary stuff and indulging in it, and I don't know, being scared of monsters is more fun than the actual things that are terrifying. What's your favorite thing to do to relax? From Violet Hearth. And sleep. Sleep is probably my main thing that I like to do. Listen to ASMR, puzzle games, throwing on an episode of a show that makes me feel comfortable, like something I've seen like a million times before. That's probably it. What would you prefer, death or live life behind bars with immortality? From Hokuto no Stabs Your What? So if there is absolutely no chance of getting out, I'd probably pick live behind bars. If you lived on a desert island and had to eat one meal for the rest of your life, what would it be? I would like to have nothing but absolutely delicious satellite radios, because living on a desert island sounds like a nightmare, an absolute nightmare that I would want no part of. Favorite animal? From Bird. First of all, hi Bird. My favorite animal are cows. I think cows are super cute. Yes, I eat them, but they are my favorite. I would have said cats a while ago, but I don't know, something about cows is just really charming. I really like them. They're cute. If you could have any animal as a pet, what would you get? From Domio. I've had a cat before. I've had other cats before. I've briefly had a dog, but I'm not really good at taking care of dogs. Like, they're a lot of effort, so luckily, that was only like dog sitting. It was for a short amount of time. So probably cat. I also don't mind mice and rats. They're kind of cute. Or fish. But honestly, fish aren't really, I wouldn't really consider it a pet for me. Like, you feed them, you don't really play with them. What was the last dream you remember having about? Like the one that you made before this Q&A vid, whatever that may be. The last dream that I had, it was really lame actually, now that I think about it. I kept dreaming I was waking up and pushing my laptop off the bed, and it kept shattering, and I was like, oh no, my laptop, what am I gonna do? And then I would wake up and my laptop would be fine. But then I wouldn't move it, and then I would go back to sleep and the dream would start up again. What is the best and worst dream you've ever had? I'm not gonna go into worst dreams because that's kind of depressing. But best dream, I've had a lot of fun dreams where you're kind of in control of them, like, lucid dreaming. But I've also had ones that felt like they meant something. There was one I had about climbing a skyscraper, and that one has always stuck with me because when I got to the top, there were all these people up there that I loved, and I don't know, it felt symbolic of something. Because, I don't know, it felt really weird, but good weird. What is the best pun you know? From It's a Secret. God, do I even know any puns? I should have prepared something. I'm very sorry. All I can think of is just punny, and I'm actually really bad at puns. Like, I don't think I'm clever enough for them, but I do appreciate a good one when it happens because, you get to appreciate people being smart. In a previous video, I made fun of people who make lots of puns. But if it's done well, it can be charming. If it's done poorly, then you can get the hell out. What is your favorite meme of all time? This is a very important question. So, there are 3 memes that are guaranteed to make me cry with laughter, and I can't look at them while I'm recording this because it will happen. So I will maybe throw up an image or a link or something, probably an image. So the first one is Stu Pickles from the Rugrats with too many eggs. The second one is, I think it's like, gee, Billy, why does your mom let you get so many hot dogs? Which is so funny. Oh my god. And the newest contender is Binky's my dad too. Those are just guaranteed laughing every time. What has been the biggest inspiration to you in how you live your everyday life? I have one phrase that I really believe in, which is, do no harm, but take no shit. Like, I don't have any tattoos because I'm scared of pain, but if I did get one, that would be it. I believe in that. Like, don't hurt other people, but if somebody wants to hurt you, don't let them. Get away from them. They suck. They're terrible. How do you define happiness? From Joshua. That is a really hard question. Happiness for me is closely tied to the happiness of other people. If the people I love are happy, then I genuinely feel happier because I love them a lot and they deserve good things. Suffering makes me sad. It doesn't necessarily have to be mine because I don't have to go through very much lately. But yeah. Sorry I don't have anything better prepared for that. Big question. Are you generally happy with your life? And if you are, would you change anything at all? Anything including things that happened, people you met, etc., etc.? And the answer to that is I am pretty happy with how life is right now. Things are better than they've ever been before, and I'm really enjoying myself. A lot of bad things have happened in my life, like they have for everybody. But for the most part, it's been pretty easy sailing. And even the stuff that was absolutely horrible, that I wouldn't wish on anyone, I wouldn't change it because I'm here today with you guys, with the people I love, because those things happened. So yeah, I wouldn't change it. What is the thing that you want the most in the whole wide world? I have mostly everything, so that sounds kind of crazy. Like, oh wow, you must be rich. But no, we're very minimal here. We don't have a lot of stuff. Like I said, we only recently got a desk. At the moment, the only things I want is maybe soundproofing foam, and I want to get a Rode microphone because they sound so good. And maybe someday I'd like a fancy XLR mic. That would be it. Aside from that, all I want is to be able to hang out with my friends more. But there's this big ocean between us. So I guess what I want is plane tickets. Are plane tickets? Oh, we're close to the end. Any advice to your younger self? Tell people you love them. Tell them a lot. Just let them know. Because I know it's scary to not hear it back, but it's always good to know when somebody loves you, you know? As long as, you're not being creepy about it, let's be completely real. But if you have someone in your life that you appreciate, let them know. Let them know that you appreciate them. You could make their day, really. And don't be too critical of yourself. Mistakes happen. And you're going to be a bad person now and then, but that doesn't actually mean that you're a terrible human being. Like, you're just making mistakes, and that's true of everybody. You can't be 100% positive all the time. You're going to mess up. That's the best part of life. You get to mess up, and then you keep going. And how hard was it to make this long-ass video? Well, we're almost at 2 hours here. I don't know what it'll be like post-editing. I may be able to cut a little bit here and there. So I'm assuming the editing will make it a little bit harder. But in terms of recording, this hasn't been too bad. I didn't actually crack open my can of Monster, which is a little bit of a waste. Maybe I'll put it back in the fridge for when I'm going to record the next one. I have had to pause a couple of times to clear my throat because it does that. But I haven't been gurgling. I thought I would make a lot more gurgle noises because that happens a lot in roleplays. Instead, I just have this sort of chair noise and the tower making its little rrr noise. But that is all of the questions. Wow, we did it. That was 39 Google Doc pages. Oh my god. So, in summation, thank you for listening to this gargantuanly long Q&A. If you've been awake and coherent and paying attention the entire time, good job. I am so proud of you. I want to thank everyone who asked a question. I really appreciate it. I also want to take this moment to thank everyone who has subscribed so far. And why not? Let's thank everyone who will subscribe in the future as well. I really am shocked that all of this has happened, but I'm so happy, and I'm looking forward to making more stuff with all of you. And I hope that by the next Q&A, I have even more stories to tell you, because that would be fun. Anyway, I want to take this time to thank Aito, Little Bro Gil, and Fantasmic, and the rest of my Patreon supporters for all of their support, as well as my Ko-Fi supporters, who, it's very sweet when you guys throw me $1 here and there. I don't know. There's just something about that that's cute to me. As always, have a good morning, day, evening, or night. And I hope that you rest up because you really, really deserve it. Alright. This has been a very long video. So, until next time, bye.